What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's going on? It's Anthony Fallon, Tone Set of Sports Channel. I like to say what's up, everybody. You know, everything's good out here. You know, season coming down to an end. Oh man, I've been waiting to drop this drop this report and just talk about some of the UFAs out there. And I know everybody, you know, already harped on it and stuff, but I just wanted to, you know, talk about, you know, just give my opinion, shed, you know, on some of the unrestricted free agents out there, rookie free agents. Then we got some more value picks in the free agent realm, and that could potentially make the team. It's all out competition. This is the way you want it. It's going to breed better players. I'm not gonna lie. Even down to those on the practice squad and everything. When you just playing amongst competition, it's either it's going to help elevate your game, or it's going to put you in your place to make you realize that you're not good enough to not play, to not be able to compete, and that you're. Even for the veterans, that your job is not safe. You know, that'll make you play harder because you feel like you have more to play for because you've been there longer than anybody. So, because you have years, you know. But anyway, so let's go with our UFAs, and then I'm going to talk about some more. I got about 3. I got a couple more, but I'm gonna do 3 tonight. Unrestricted, some rookie free agents. That's what I want to say. RFA. Sorry, that's my other phone. My new phone. That's that ringtone. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get back to it. Rookie free agents. I'm going to elaborate on. I got 3 more prospects I would like to add to the list. But for now, let's go with we got in that offensive lineman. You know, we made a splash with Larry Allen Jr. out of Harvard. You know what I'm saying? He plays guard. They got him as a guard. He looked like he could be a good pulling guard. He's not as big as his father was, but his father was damn sure a hell of a pulling guard, you know what I'm saying, for his size. And Larry Allen was pretty smart, so I understand why he went to Harvard, you know, his son. Highly intelligent. So that's one thing, is that, you know, he went to a very prestigious school. Along with the NFL pedigree in his DNA, and that his father played for the team that he just got picked up by. So that should be a huge splash and a pick me up for him as well. And I hope that he can prove himself. I think that could be some very that could be somebody that can make the team, that could fill in, you know, for the guard, in the guard position, because it looks more and more like it's on Lyle Collins, and we might not keep him after this year, or he could be traded sometime this season, you know, or before the season even starts, you know, for real. Amass some draft picks. Amass draft picks. Trade out of your draft picks to accumulate more draft picks for the following year, and so you can always have a stockpile of draft picks. That's the mantra, man. That is the mantra. That's what the New England Patriots do. They amass draft picks, and if they don't like, you know, their prospects or or who they have on their draft board as pick, they'll just draft out and just wait till next year. I mean, because eventually, I say about well, just about every year you're gonna have a splash in various positions. You know what I'm saying? Some positions are at a premium, and one that is quarterback, as always. It seems like a lot of teams are finding their quarterbacks, though. You know what I'm saying? And offensive linemen, they are the two most premium. It's hard to find good offensive linemen too. You know what I'm saying? That's really at a premium, because you can find linebackers, you can find defensive lines and edge rushers and cornerbacks and safeties, all deep in the draft, free agency. You know what I'm saying? But you can find wide receivers, you can find running backs. You know what I'm saying? You can find tight ends all throughout the draft and free agency. Now, special ones, absolutely. I mean, that I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about you can find some players that's deemed to be fringe players because they didn't get drafted, or they was drafted or they was either drafted in the lower round or they was undrafted, and they're considered fringe players because they might not even make a team. But a lot of those guys just get overlooked, you know, because there's a lot of talent in the NFL. In every position. And a lot of those guys that didn't get drafted very well could have been, because some of them have some very solid grades. I mean, I'm talking about, like, you know, in the fives, you know what I'm saying? Like 5.35, 5.10, you know, that's right there, you know what I'm saying? But some of these guys have accolades, you know, or some of these guys have good measurables. You know, whether if it was a broad jump or vertical or 40 time, cone and drill, you know what I'm saying, or the reps, you know, and they they could just complete players. A lot of them have experience. They're seniors and stuff like that. So I know at times they probably look at seniors like they might have maxed out, but some of them got better, and that's what the Cowboys pretty much did in the draft. But not only in the draft, but also in signing these rookie free agents. You're going to look up a lot of these, a lot of the free agents that we drafted, like I'm sticking with the O-line, like Mitch Hyatt, you know what I'm saying, the tackle. He was a semi-finalist for the Outland Trophy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon Knight, like there wasn't no accolades, but he showed potential. Like a lot of these guys that got undrafted, some played, or some didn't play, didn't start. I mean, because you know you got a senior ahead of you. Just when you came into, or when you came on board on your college team, and you had to play behind somebody, and that somebody might have been a freshman. He might be just a year ahead of you, or he was a red shirt, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And he played out his career, and, you know, because of seniority and such like that, and maybe because he was a little ahead of the curve on you, because of the fact that he was already a red shirt and he got acclimated. He had been getting acclimated for a whole year to hone his skills in order to get on the field. So it might have hindered this player, these RFAs like Brandon Knight, that only had 12 starts, you know what I'm saying, 904 snaps, and only gave up 7 sacks. You know what I'm saying? The one that more than likely will not make it is Derek Pun. I'm not drafting. I'm not picking these guys up if I don't think they have the potential to make the team. You know what I'm saying, or at least make the practice squad. But a lot of these guys look like they have the potential. Daniel Weiss, NFL DNA. So apparently his father was a pro NFL player. That's always good. 18 sacks in 2 years. First team All-American. See what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Follow me here now. This is good. This is due diligence here. This is where championship teams are made, man. You hear it. You'll hear it periodically. Seattle Seahawks thrive in this kind of in this part of the all season. You know what I'm saying? They make their splashes in the draft, whatever. They operate accordingly as New England Patriots. I mean, of course, the tree connection and all that stuff. But it's the same philosophy, the same method, man, in a sense. But Pete Carroll has his own little thing as well, where he likes taking players that didn't even play the position, that played wide receiver, and turn them into cornerbacks. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Who would know a wide receiver better than a wide receiver? Who would know a cornerback better than a wide receiver? I'm sorry, said that wrong. Is a cornerback that used to be a wide receiver, and you saw what Richard Sherman did. So there's no need to elaborate on that. As far as the D line goes, linebackers, Luke Gifford. He showed some flashes. Had 5.5 sacks. I don't know. I don't know about him. And I didn't write down his measurables and stuff like that. Y'all, you can read up on that yourself. It's right there, so you can see what his stats. I just wrote down some the stats and stuff. Gives us a synopsis. I'm just kind of just letting this one fly right here. Of what I wrote down about Frank Gifford. He had 5.5 sacks, and from what I can remember, he was like one of those late bloomers too. He came in, maybe played for about only had a handful of playing time, but showed promises, but showed potential that if these guys was given the playing time that was allotted to some of the other players that came before them and whatnot, because those guys had to wait a year or two before they could even get on the field because of the player in front of them and all that stuff. If they had a solid 4 years, they probably would have been amongst the tops. You know what I'm saying? In whatever Division I, Division II. You know what I'm saying? So we got Nate Hall had 51 tackles, 3 interceptions. And I think he was a Big Ten I don't think he was an All-American, but he might have been a Big Ten All-American, like in that conference, something like that, or Big 12, one of the two. But 51 tackles and 3 sacks, and the amount of starts that he had, man. He's a cover guy. I like that. That means he's sideline to sideline, and he knows how to play in the open field. He knows how to play in his space. You know what I'm saying? Three interceptions is really not a lot, but it shows that he has some potential, to be able to be a ball hawking linebacker. And Andrew Dowell. Oh, excuse me. Justin Phillips, that's who I have. And he's another player, linebacker that had short playing experience, but in doing his time, he made the best of it. And with it, he ended up with like 98 tackles. 98 tackles and some tackles for loss. That means now he get behind the back, 10 tackles for loss. He can get. He has some potential to play. Play downhill and get in the backfield to stop. He could be a run stuffer. Andrew Dowell is another one saying in that same mold. If he had the starting time before he became a senior or whatnot, probably would have been in the tops as far as All-American in their conference. But he ended up with like 97 tackles. You know what I'm saying? He was also honorable mention or something like that in the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? So the other one was Big 12. This one's Big 10. Although, man, I love the wide receiver picks, yo. Fast, speedy, deep threat wide receivers. Potential slot receivers, maybe. That's exactly where I would be putting these guys. Unless they can really get open and know how to fight through contact, but also can play bigger than their size. Like the Steve Smiths of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's Jalen Guyton and Jean-V Johnson. And and Guyton averaged 17.2 yards per catch, and that's for 3 seasons. And I saw the highlights, man. Well, he can make some very difficult catches and stuff. Look, he has some speed, some shiftiness to him, And maybe so. I'm sorry, y'all see me rubbing my eyes and stuff, man. It's been a long day. Jean-V Johnson. Oh man, he's fourth in his school history. I think it might be in TDs. I know he had 24 career TDs in 3 years, something like that, as a 3-year starter. Yeah, touchdown machine. Touchdown. That's all I gotta say. That's all I got. You can amass. That's pretty much 7 touchdowns per year. You know what I'm saying? Wide receiver, something like that. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty solid. That shows consistency of getting open. That shows consistency of either he's getting yak. He's just beating his opponent or his opposition off the break. In the red zone, he's a red zone threat, or he's a deep threat. One of the two, or both. And that can be some potential groom right there later down the road. Now with that, I'm going to interject right here. As far as I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get back. I'm almost done. With So with the DBs, I love the DBs too. Chris Westy and Ricky Walker. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody's talking about the 6'4" cornerback. You know what I'm saying? 3 INTs career-wise at Virginia Tech. We know about Virginia Tech players. Let's talk about Virginia players, period. Because one thing you can say about Virginia, man, coming out of the state, plenty of talent comes out of here, and it goes elsewhere. It goes to the Floridas and and up Ohio and everywhere else. Pittsburgh. Stuff like everywhere. Virginia students, players, athletes, a lot of them go outside of the state of Virginia, but those who stay in, we know that Virginia Tech has a 757 on lock. That's the Hampton Newport News area. That's where they mainly recruit out of those areas to find talent. one thing we do come with in Virginia, defensive players. And it comes out of Virginia. Cam Chancellor, James Ferrier, you know, the Ahmad Brooks. Gosh, who was that stud? Macho Harris from Virginia Tech. Even though he didn't do much in the NFL, but you know, just the list goes on and on, man. About you know, Virginia Tech, UVA players and stuff like that, man. A lot of good talent comes out of there. There's a lot of solid. It ain't like we coming out of like Florida, which you get out. There's something in the water down there, man. I used to live down there. Good water. That's all I gotta say. Real good water. Good genes, man. Florida's just something different, but they recruit a lot of Virginia players, man. Down to Miami and stuff, and Florida State, and Florida, and the list goes on and on. Ricky Walker, he might be more of a safety. He's a hybrid. He had 10.5 tackles for loss. So he played in the backfield, came in off a lot of blitzing. He's a good blitzer and all of that. But I think he's a little undersized maybe, but he plays bigger than his size. And that's what the NFL is all about, man. That's what it's all about. You know, sometimes size don't matter. Heart matters. The dog in you matters. You know. So it looked like he's a project that could be he could if he's an artist like that, you know what I'm saying, he could, you know, they could draw some packages for him if he's good at getting in the backfield, help for run support and all that stuff. Particularly on the defensive side, those guys can be utilized a lot earlier, you know what I'm saying, unless you're a running back or something like that, maybe wide receiver, you can get in, but your role is going to be limited, and his role will definitely probably be limited, even though he might get some playing time, some quality playing time and blitz packages and stuff like that. Okay, now let's go to my RFA prospects that are still out there, and I've been waiting to get to this part because I'm right there with the Cowboys, man. Just like, you know, just make this team better. Like, I love finding those diamond in the rough, man. That can make a name for themselves and come out of nowhere. And let's start at the top of my list right now. Wide receiver out of Missouri Western, 5'10", 185 pounds. Career total yards 936, 66 catches career-wise with 7 TDs. Now, they're not like out there like that. NFL DNA. His father was an NFL player and a pretty good one, and his father played wide receiver. To my knowledge, this is no other than Joe Horn Jr. And this brother kind of looks like the Guyton guy that we picked up. But he has the pedigree. It's in his DNA. NFL is in his DNA. He has good catch radius. He has good suddenness and shiftiness in his movement. Where he played for in Missouri Western. You know, he had some yak and made players miss and stuff. I think that's somebody that we should pick up. We got to pick up, you know, little talent like that, since we already picked up two players that have their parents was a former, or father was a former NFL player, you know, with Wise and Allen. Let's go ahead and get another one. Okay. Let's go and get that. I like the highlights. Check the highlight film. So let's go again. Joe Horn Jr. And he might have would have had a better stat career, but he came out his junior year. So for those 3 years that he actually got on the field, He did okay. He did okay. You know, so he looked like he could be a gem man, a diamond in the rough for real. Another diamond in the rough, and maybe injuries. You know, kind of he made him fall to the free agent realm or let's just call it the free agent draft. Port Augustine, USC defensive end. Career stats: 137 tackles, 33 of them for loss, 21 and a half sacks on 4 years. It's measurable: 6'4", 255, 33-inch arm length, 10-inch hands, 40 time, 4.69, vert, 35 and a half, not bad. Bench press, 31, I like that. And broad jump, 11.9, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that 4.69 though, that 40. I like the bench press and stuff. Vert is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? 35, he got some pop to him. But that goes along with that bench press, 31 presses, 225. That's not bad. And his broad is okay. I didn't get a cone drill and all that stuff, so I guess he didn't run it or whatnot. It was just not important. But this guy highlights, man. Yo, he's around the ball. Just watch the games. Just watch the whole game. Let's watch some of the games they played, you know, Oregon and all that stuff, man. You got 4 years of tape. He's a senior. He gets it done. But he plays the backfield very well with sacks and also stopping the run. He got a good burst, man. I think that's another player that we can look at, and he can play outside, for real, outside linebacker, and he could be part of your blitz package as well. Allow him to use that speed with an early start. So that's my third one. Now my other restricted rookie free agent is a flex player. He played right tackle, left tackle, and guard, if I'm not mistaken. But out of Penn State, since we got Connor McGovern, his buddy, his mate, did not get drafted. And for whatever reason, who knows? Guys just slip. But Ryan Bates, he's another swing offensive lineman, more interior than anything. But his 40 time was good, 509, bench press, 28 reps. You know what I'm saying? Broad jump, 10-2. You know what I'm saying? 3 cones, 7.45. Well, as an offensive lineman, you know what I'm saying? Vert, 27 inches. For an offensive lineman, yeah, he might got some pop though. Height about 6'4", 306, a little small. You know what I'm saying? He had to pick up some weight, maybe build up some arm strength. He could be another Connor Williams. You know, just let him sit on the bench and get his conditioning up. Arm length, 32.5, 9.5 on the hands, 20-yard dash. This is the important part. 4.57. That 20 yards matters. I like for it to be a little lower, but that's pretty good for a big man though. 4 seconds and 4.5 seconds, you might as well say. So let's go over my rookie free agents. Wide receiver Joe Horn Jr. out of Missouri Western. USC defensive end Port Augustine, and an offensive interior lineman Ryan Bates out of Penn State. Those are my 3 right now on the list. And so far, and Trey Lamar out of Clemson, because I actually had Trey Lamar potentially being drafted by the Cowboys, somebody to look at, you know what I'm saying, on the Cowboys end, you know, Kyle, because you know what's coming out of Clemson right now, man. It's a lot, that talent just spewing over, you know what I'm saying, even to his second and third players, you know, string players that really never got a chance to get on the field. I think he's worth looking out at the least, you know what I'm saying, because I actually had him on my draft board to be drafted potentially, and he dropped all the way to the free agency realm, and I think that's a good pickup, because everybody that I had on my draft board either got drafted or they've been picked up on free agency as we speak, except Trey Lamar. Except Trey Lamar, maybe one or two, something like that is not getting looked at, but they're getting looked at right now, and during this all season, you know, in this during this rookie free agent signings and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, I'm talking myself right to sleep. I need it. So with that being said, guys, I'm exhausted, man. Long ride. This is Anthony Fallon, Tone Setter Sports Channel. Peace. I'm out.